What's going on, everybody? My name is Alex, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the new PlayStation update. I think it's update 8.0 that actually has party chat recording capabilities with a tattletale component, and I'm hearing different things from a lot of different sources. I've read, normal news outlets, I've read extreme right-wing outlets, I've read extreme left-wing outlets about the freedom of speech breach of trust. I've seen different things from Twitter. So I'm going to try to just display the facts. I might give you a little bit of my opinion, but nothing too drastic, because I feel like if I'm angry about this, then I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite when it comes to other products that we use in our daily lives, but it's also kind of an infringement of privacy. So I can definitely see both sides, but I just want to show you guys this because I feel like you should be informed, because this is definitely going to be part of the PlayStation 5 and it's happening on the PS4 as of right now. So let's get into the articles. I'm going to show you a couple tweets from a few other people to let you guys know exactly what you're dealing with. PS4 users agree to voice chats being recorded in party chat with new update. This is by Jess Hardiman on the Lad Bible website, and this is actually not a bad source of information. They have a cool YouTube channel. This article has been pretty straightforward, which is why I chose it. Following Sony's release of the PlayStation 4 update earlier today, gamers have noticed a diverse new feature, having received a notification telling them that their voice chats may be recorded for moderation. This update 8.0 is intended to make several improvements for PS users, including to its party chat system. However, many fans realized that upon downloading the new update, they were told their voice chats would now be recorded and be subject to moderation. Interesting stuff. This is also a change that users must agree to in order to use the party chat system, sharing a screenshot of a notification from their console that said voice chats may be recorded for moderation. By joining, you agree to be recorded. And then somebody brought it up. This is that tweet. Here is the actual screenshot image from the menu. Voice chats may be recorded for moderation. By joining, you agree to be recorded. Another posted a screenshot of PlayStation's full notice, which said, "We want PlayStation Network to be fun for everybody, which is why we have a community code of conduct. Please be aware that voice chats and parties may be recorded and sent to us by users. By participating in voice chats, you agree to your voice being recorded. When behaviors that violate the community code of conduct are reported, PlayStation Safety will review the reports to check if there have been genuine violations. These recordings will only be used for safety and moderation purposes by the PlayStation Safety." Oh, this is another tweet. "Also records your voice now so that you think you can be banned for words and wrong think." This is obviously a censorship talking point, and I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with it. I'm just trying to present the information. A third commentated, "I don't like the idea of being recorded while trying to relax with friends after work. It makes me paranoid." Another joked, "Well, me and the homies are getting banned quick." While Sony didn't say anything about the change in its blog post with the new update, a privacy policy listed online says, "We cannot monitor the whole of PlayStation Network and make no commitment to do so. However, we reserve the right in our sole discretion to monitor, including through the use of technology that automatically detects images, text, and URLs that breach our terms of service, and record your online activity and communication throughout PSN, and to remove or delete any content. We may use this information we collect as described above to detect breaches and enforce our PSN terms of service, software usage terms, system software license agreements, and other terms of service that you have agreed to, and any rules of conduct applicable to your use of PSN." So basically what this means is they can ban you for hate speech if somebody doesn't like what they said in your party chat. The reason I don't think this is going to be that big of a deal, for example, when you're party chatting with people, aren't you party chatting with people that you know? So it doesn't sound like, and this is a good thing, that PlayStation is just directly listening to your conversations. It doesn't sound like that's happening. It sounds like what's happening is if you get together with random people, which I don't know who does that, and you're just like calling somebody like making fun of them for being trans, I don't know, just I'm using that as an example. You're making fun of them for being transgender and you're calling them names. That person has the right to send you to PlayStation's headquarters with the recording of you doing that and then get you banned. I don't really like that. I don't think that's necessary. You should just go to another place, because if we're playing with randoms, then go play with more randoms. Why do you have to play with that person? There's no agency anymore. People don't take things to themselves. They look to big daddy corporation and they're like, "Take care of this for me. I'm special." That's just not a healthy way to live. Not just in technology land, in real life land. If you have a problem with a coworker, go talk to the coworker. You don't have to go to your boss and tattle on them. If the person in your coworking space is being aggressive and sabotaging you or going behind your back to hurt you, or just in like manipulative evil ways, that's a totally different subject. Then you're going to have to go talk to your boss if you've tried to handle this on your own multiple times and they don't let up. That's a different subject. But when we're just dealing with base interactions and somebody says something mean, just leave. Do you know how many things Hollywood and media put online that I don't like? A lot. And do you know what I do? I just move on. Do you know how many people attack people for being white? When I lived in LA, I was constantly berated for being white. I even got yelled at and spit on for being white. You know what I did? I moved on. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim of assault or anything like that. I just moved on because I mean, it made me mad, but like, what am I going to do? Fight them and make a huge stink out of it? Those people were evil, and I moved on. That's it. So now we have a secondary article saying, this is coming directly from Sony themselves, stating that they do not record party chats. This is talking about the original story, and then we get to a tweet from PlayStation UK saying, hello, the notification advises you that other users may be recording your voice conversation. We do not record party chats. And obviously that is true. That's kind of what the directions say. I'm just showing you that PlayStation said that. I don't understand why people are totally upset about this, because Facebook does this crap already. Instagram does this crap already. This is already being done. So if you're arguing that this is, an aggregate to that pile, sure, then I can understand your argument. But if you're complaining that this is like more censorship, there's already censorship. There's already stuff happening for the wrong thing and whatever. That's already happening. Okay. It's at least good that PlayStation isn't just directly listening to you and you have to be reported. But these companies have algorithms that are so powerful that if you post a thumbnail that's upsetting, if you post a comment that's upsetting, if you post bad words, if you post a link that's upsetting, by the time it goes from your house to their servers to the other people's computer, it's already been filtered and it might not even show up. I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me, and it's happening to people in my chats, and they're getting mad at me and thinking that I'm banning them when I'm not doing anything of the sort. So these companies are already doing this. It's stupid to get mad about, PlayStation also joining this bandwagon because it's already happening. But I get it. It's like another company joining the ranks. For some reason, and correct me if I'm wrong, this doesn't feel like a very Japanese move. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know Japanese culture that well, but as far as I know, they're pretty in line with like democracy and freedom and stuff like that. This doesn't feel very Japanese. This feels like the Sony PlayStation United States headquarters or Western headquarters did something like this. And that's when we jump into the next set of tweets. We have here a tweet from Jonathan Greenblatt from the ADL. And if you don't know what the ADL is a hate speech, hate group targeting organization. I actually think they brought down the KKK back in the day, which is a good thing. But ever since then, they've been fighting, hate, whatever. I'm not even going to get into that. I think this is one of those things that's on its face. It's good. But then they're like searching for boogeymen that aren't there. Okay. That's kind of how I feel about the ADL. Of course, there are bad groups out there. Of course, there are bad people. But regardless, this tweet from Jonathan Greenblatt. Thank you, PlayStation, for leading the way as the first company from the video game industry to join the Stop Hate for Profit campaign and pause spending on the platform. Companies big and small, we ask you to join us and tell Facebook to stop hate for profit. Hate speech is such a subjective thing. It's not something that you can just blanket state and pick and choose the words, because everybody's opinion on things is different. And I just wish these companies would stay out of it, because I don't really care what PlayStation thinks. And again, this just shows the abuse that these companies are doing with Article 230 and being a publisher and a platform and having protection from the government, but also abusing things. It's murky waters. We're navigating through it, and I think things will get resolved eventually. It's just a rough time right now. And honestly, I know censorship is bad, and I'm, all about free speech, but it's just nothing personally has like happened to me. So I can't say like, oh, everything's changing, everything's horrible. I mean, nothing has personally happened to me. That's all I can say, at least that I know of. And I hope that nothing happens to me. I'm very blessed in that regard. But there are other people I have seen this stuff happen to, and that's a shame. And I don't really know why PlayStation is joining the ADL. And as you'll see in a few moments, they're not the only company to join. Okay, the next tweet we have here is PlayStation is now recording private party voice chat for violations. If a group of friends want to make off-color jokes to each other privately or talk about freaky stuff or sexual content, then that's their business. Xbox is looking better and better lately. I agree with that. Then again, somebody has to send your jokes and your chat to PlayStation. PlayStation isn't just listening. I mean, they are, but they have to be alerted that you are violating. So people are still going to be able to make their off-color jokes. People are still going to be able to do whatever, and that's how they get around this stuff. They say, oh, but we have to be alerted. So I don't know. But then what happens when PlayStation is really just listening and nobody alerts, and then there's distrust in that friend group? PlayStation caused that distrust. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but we don't really know what's happening on the other side. And then the last tweet, as I said, not the only company to join the ADL. This person tweeted, TV is dying, cinema is dead, new outlet for Marxist propaganda required, and guess what's at top of the list? EA teams up with the ADL to enforce social justice in gaming. These organizations take ordinary behavior online and say it's epidemic examples of far right. Okay, so whether you believe in hate speech, whether you believe in social justice, whether you believe in far left or far right ideas or social issues, it's not really what this video is about. This video is about these tech companies pushing and getting into our lives onto levels that are just not really okay. When you bought a PlayStation in the mid-90s, you bought the PlayStation, you played the games, you owned it, you could manipulate it, you could break games, you could do whatever you wanted because it was yours, you owned it. But that's not the case anymore. Now we're just renting things from these companies, more or less, and now the delineation between software and hardware is a lot starker of a line. Whereas before, you owned everything. Now, Sony is constantly giving you updates into your home via the internet, allowing them access into your home, allowing you to sign contracts that give them more and more jurisdiction over your software. Imagine you make an off-color joke on the party chat and Sony hears that or somebody sends it to them. Do they take away your whole account? I have purchased thousands of dollars of games. Thousands. I mean, if you buy, 10 deluxe editions of games that are $100 each, that's $1,000. And I've been playing PlayStation for 6-7 years for this generation. What are they just going to take everything I've purchased away? What if I've purchased COD points or Fortnite V-Bucks and they just take it all away because you make a joke they don't like? How is that any of PlayStation's business? I just personally don't think it is. And it's almost like these digital experiences are going to Central Park and hanging out. If I go to Central Park and I start screaming cuss words and people tell me to go home because I'm acting obnoxious, well, that makes sense. But is that equivalent in the digital space? Sort of, but not entirely. Should you be able to just be kicked off the platform entirely? Well, that delineation hasn't really been clear. And I think it's being decided right now. And we're going to be towing the line with these companies. You can't make certain screen names you want anymore. You can't say certain things on your microphone now. You can't post URLs on Facebook if they're offensive. All the stuff happening with the Biden campaign and Twitter banning that stuff before people can even see the links. They banned the press secretary of the United States. Whether you agree with these leaks on the Biden campaign or not, that's not what I'm trying to say. But these companies just have so much power, and I don't know who draws the line, because I don't have $1 billion to create Facebook 2.0 for everybody to have ultimate freedom. And I also understand the ideas of harassment and getting constantly trolled and bothered. It's freaking annoying, and there's only so much you can do. It's a tricky situation, and I wouldn't be being honest if I said it was totally easy for PlayStation to just make this decision. But partnering with companies that are politically aligned only one way is not necessarily the answer, I don't think. But then again, it's not my company, it's not my choice. All I hope is that this doesn't get abused. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.